So it's been 40 years, but the Oscars Academy has finally decided to expel Roman Polanski from the Academy. And it's a little bit too little too late. Like, this guy raped a fucking 13-year-old. He's a pedophile. Yet, this guy was getting standing ovations in 2003 after he won a fucking Oscar. And he was also nominated two other times before that. So when these people come out and they make videos about Trump and shit, and they're saying like, "Oh, he's such an evil man, evil racist, this and that," a lot of these same people are the ones who were voting for Roman Polanski to win awards. These are the same people who didn't think it was a big deal, but now all of a sudden they care. Now it's a big deal, and they all of a sudden have morals, and they are able to tell you how to think, how to feel, because they are, so much better than you, which is bullshit. These people are degenerates. Like, they are degenerate fucks. Anybody who's okay with that tries to legitimize it, because I remember a few years ago when people like Hollywood and stuff still stood up for Roman Polanski. Like, there was movies, documentaries about it. They're like, oh, the girl and Roman Polanski, they loved each other. It was passionate. It was great. Like, they were making this pedophilia thing out to be like it was romantic. So the morals in Hollywood are extremely fucked. You should not be listening to celebrities whatsoever for any type of advice. And this is why people are getting so angry with Kanye changing, because celebrities do understand. I mean, the elites, the liberals, and stuff understand that celebrities do sway opinion, right? So this is why they're coming out and they're demonizing Kanye and making him seem like crazy and all this shit. So then people don't listen to him because they know influential celebrities people will listen to. But now, if we come out and expose all these people as like pedophiles and people who like look the other way when there's all this assault going on in Hollywood, then who are they to tell us how to act, how to behave? And a lot of the power that they have will be lost. This is why they don't want to be exposed, because the left, the elites or whatever, they're a very powerful tool. Why would you get rid of this powerful tool by exposing everything? They'll go expose the Catholic Church and all this shit, but then they'll overlook all of these kids getting abused in schools. Like, look at on Twitter every other day. There's some teacher who's banging a student. It's usually some woman teacher who's banging a student. Nobody's ever talking about female toxicity and the problem with females raping male students, but that seems to be a pretty huge issue. Just type it up in Google, you'll find, like, I don't know, just this year probably like 50, 60 cases of it. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, it's out of hand. But this is going on in Hollywood, and I don't even care really about the stuff between adults and the women and stuff, because a lot of the time those interactions were voluntary, and that chick's like, oh, okay, fine, I'll suck your dick so I can get ahead and go and be a movie star and all this shit. So now they're all acting like victims and shit now, which is bullshit. But the real victims are the kids in Hollywood. Those are the kids. A lot of the kids in Hollywood are abused. This is just a fact. Like, they're vulnerable. You put them in situations with all these adults that are depraved degenerates, and what is eventually going to happen? Like, look at that one guy who's living in Europe right now, Kevin Spacey. Like, he picked up that one kid, laid on top of him, was going to try to do something, and now it's just like, what the fuck, man? Like, this is probably common shit. Like, something needs to be done about these fuckers. And it just boggles my mind that there is such a lax penalty for pedophilia. Like, compared to a lot of other crimes and shit, it's like a slap on the wrist a lot of times that people get this. And this should be one of the worst crimes that is done within society. This should be deemed one of the worst crimes, because when you abuse kids, you fuck them up for the rest of their life. You're going to create other abusers who are going to go around, abuse other people. It's going to continue a cycle. And, that's horrible to violate a child like that. And you should be strung up or like, severely beaten within an inch of your life, then recuperated, then beaten within an inch of your life again, and constantly doing that for like, I don't know, 10, 20 years straight. Like that is the treatment that pedophiles should suffer within our society, not giving them Oscars nominations, 1 year in prison. Like there's a lot of these pedophiles that were convicted, went to jail or something, paid a little fine, then go right back into working in Hollywood. Like Jeepers Creepers, the director there, he's a convicted pedophile. So, these people have no fucking morals. They don't care about shit. They overlook pedophilia. Like I said, the only other time they expelled somebody from the Oscars was when somebody leaked one of the movies, a screening in like 2004. That was the only other time. So they obviously care more about money than they do children. So they, this whole Me Too shit falls on deaf ears, especially coming from celebrities, and then all these whipped women acting like victims and shit. It's just pathetic, and they're just like, oh, now I'm gonna sue you because you didn't give me a role in the movie because I didn't sleep with you. It's like, fuck, shut the fuck up. Nobody gives a shit about two adults and you, if you're a fucking whore and you want to go and whore yourself out for a fucking movie title. Like, or if you're going to stand there and watch some guy jerk off in front of you in a fucking plant, then that's your fucking decision. Okay? And that's your decision to keep working with the people over and over again. All right? But little kids, they don't have that fucking decision. Okay? So fuck all the whole Me Too women era. Yeah, let's worry about the kids more. Why wasn't Roman Polanski removed from the Academy earlier on? Like, people should be questioning fucking celebrities and shit about this. Like high up celebrities that are, especially the ones within the Academy voting for Oscars, within the board, questioning, grilling these people. But why would they do that, right? Why would the media do that? Because the media, they're leftist, just like the actors are leftists. So they're going to try to make them out to be as good as they're going to cover for them, not release shit as much as they possibly can, so then they can use them to push whatever fucking narrative. Because then, watch, when the midterms come up, when the next elections come up, you'll be sure to see those commercials with all those celebrities that are like, Trump is an evil man, and he hates people of color, and he's probably going to kill us in a nuclear blast, blah, blah, blah. I'm a really good person. Listen to me. But, remember that a lot of celebrities, a lot of people in that Hollywood upper levels, not everybody, obviously not, but a lot of those celebrities, and especially a lot of the managers and shit, are fucking sick, depraved individuals. And if you have a kid and you're putting him in Hollywood and stuff, don't do it. Or you be with them 100% of the time. You cannot leave your kids alone with these fucking people, with these sick fucking degenerates, because this is just the tip of the iceberg, right? This whole Me Too thing is just the tip of the iceberg. Eventually, we're going to find out a lot of fucking kids that were abused and how fucking rampant it really fucking is. It's just a matter of time. And we can just see how people have been overlooking it for years. Like I said, 40 years. Now, okay, now let's remove him from the Academy. Like, when did you grow a conscience? Really? Like, how are you okay with pedophilia? Like, I don't understand that. So that just tells me that these people, they're, I don't know, relativists or something. Like, or they're just not thinking about it and they're really biased. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they're just, the people that stand up for him. They just really like his movies and I don't know, try to justify it in their head somehow. But really, if you continue supporting people that are like this, you're almost just as bad. Like, people be like, oh well, I still like their movies and this and that. But if you're giving money, then you're still giving money to that artist who is a pedophile. And I would rather not watch a movie that may be good so I don't give money to pedophiles. Then people be like, oh, well, what about all the cast and the crew that worked on there? Well, they shouldn't have fucking worked with a pedophile, right? That's not my problem. You have a choice. You have freedom to work with whom you want. So if you choose to work with people that are despicable, right? That overlook kids being abused and shit, then yeah, I'm not going to give you money either, because you're just like, oh, well, I'm just going to overlook it so I can get a paycheck. Fuck you. You can get another job somewhere else. You can go work someplace else. Like, it's not impossible. There are plenty of jobs. And if you're like, but I want to work in Hollywood, it's full of these people, then I'm sorry, then just don't work in Hollywood. Or, I don't know, go to Bollywood or something. I don't give a fuck. But I'm not, and like I said, I'm not saying everybody in Hollywood is like this. I'm not saying if you support anybody in Hollywood, you support pedophiles and stuff. But if you were one of these people that gave Roman Polanski an Academy Award, you're one of the people that defended him, even after knowing everything that he did, you're a piece of shit, and nobody should listen to you ever again. And the media, which they won't do, should be blasting your name out for everybody to see, because, these types of people that overlook abuse of children need to be taken out as well. Like, if you're just letting this shit go on, like I said, like, this is one of the worst things that's happening in society right now, is the abuse of children. Like, it really, really is. Kids cannot speak up for themselves. They can't defend themselves, and they're often groomed. Like, so somebody needs to stand up for these people, and it's not going to be these people in fucking Hollywood. It's not going to be anybody else. And anytime we do stand up for them, then people say, oh, these liberals, and I'll be like, why are you obsessed with pedophiles? Why are you so obsessed? Maybe you like pedophiles. It's like, no, we care about kids. That's why. Like, that is, like I said, it's one of the biggest issues, and it needs to be tackled, because the abuse of children is where a lot of issues in society stems from. Like, single mother, parents, if that, like, the rate, it's like 30 times increase the rates of being like sexually abused in a single mother household. So that's why we kind of got to get parents together again, because once a kid has been abused, they are pretty fucked for the rest of their life. And why do you think prisoners kill pedophiles in prison? Because 85% of those people in prison have been sexually abused as a kid. See, it's not a coincidence, right? If we can reduce this abuse of children, we could remove a lot of crime, a lot of shit. And I know people are like for spanking and all this shit, but I'm also against spanking, against abuse and shit of any kind. You don't need to use violence on your kid by any means, ever. So, there is such thing, like peaceful parenting. We need to really focus on these kids. We need to make it a much bigger deal when they do get abused, not overlook it like these people in Hollywood do with Roman Polanski for 40 years. They need to go to jail. We need to have people be more active, demanding tougher sentences, because there needs to be tougher sentences. And the fact that there isn't, to me, tells me that there are a bunch of people high up in power that are sick motherfuckers that do not want these things, do not want these, pedophilia, that big of a crime to go to jail for like 10 years or 20 years, because they know probably a lot of people who do it. Like, when you get to these positions of power, lots and lots of power, and stuff. You've had everything, you've done everything. It's like, what is there left to do? You know, now it's like, hey, can I have like that little famous boy? It's like, I'll pay you $10 million so I can be with your 10-year-old child star for a fucking night, right? Like, who these people that have tons of money and power? Like I said, they just expelled everything already. They've done everything. So it's a lot of the times this abuse that happens as a kid is not even by gay men, it's by straight men. And there is gay men that are abusing them too, don't get me wrong, but it is by straight men a lot. And so it has to do more with power and stuff like this. So, the pedophilia involving girls and boys, yeah, it's both just as bad and stuff. But, we, like I said before, we need to do stricter sentences, longer times in prison, because, anytime they go away and they just go away for a year, it just doesn't make sense to me, but I'm starting to ramble now. I'm sure I already did for a little while, but if you like my content, subscribe and have a good day. See ya.